Testing. I think you guys can hear me now. It looks like it's working. Not 100% for sure. Can you hear me okay? Might be ridiculously loud. How's the audio? I mean, yeah, I know that's usually how... These usually start with like 10 minutes of messing with audio. But anyway. Let me know if we're good to go. Okay then. Okay. So what I was saying is built a new class called blog post, and I modeled its public fields after the database model for that table. Reason being, this way we can return an entire object with all of this data pre-populated using PDO's fetch object method. It's kind of cool. Going with that, I said I was going to try this for each. I don't know if we can actually do this, because normally when you address properties, you address them as this, and then for this example, post ID. And there's 8 of those, 9 of those, whatever. Get that out of there. 9 of those, and rather than write 9 lines, I figured a simple for each might take care of it. If it does, awesome. If it doesn't, well, then I guess I'm writing 9 lines of code instead of 2, 3, whatever. I might do something like if this post ID null, I'll throw a new exception. I'll just call something not set. Makes a bit more sense since the first one is not found because we're searching for it. The second one is not set because it didn't get set. Anyway, that's your basic. That's a basic object right there. It contains some private and public variables there, and it has a constructor function. But that's not very useful. We're obviously going to need to do some more stuff with that than just construct it when we're done. Great example here would be why don't we get the categories that are available right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a function get cats. Get categories, and we're going to want this to be publicly available. So anything that has access to the class there can use it. Create some namespace. Now up here, we can do some other stuff like private user. No, we'll call that member so we don't confuse it with the user class. And then we're going to do that again. Private categories. Now these right now are null, and we can change their data type by just easily assigning it. So we're going to switch those over to arrays. So we can go if this categories doesn't equal null, return this. So if this categories has been set, return it. That way we're not, going to rerun a query. So if it's already, if we already know what the categories are, go ahead and just send them back to whatever's calling this function. Otherwise, so a return will end the execution of that function. So this function is now done. Otherwise, we're going to need to get the categories. So we're going going to want the cat name, which is cat name, and we're probably going to want the cat ID from, but we're not going to select directly from blog categories. We're going to select from blog post cats. Blog post. This is a join table that just joins the post ID to the category ID. And we'll just call this B. And instead of chaining tables together with commas and then using a complex where, we're just going to do an inner join. Inner join blog categories on c.cat ID equals b.cat ID. Where, and now we can do things in the where, such as b.post ID equals PID. And we don't want, even though a post can be joined to a category, if we later delete that category, that join still exists. So we're really only going to want to show categories that have a status of A. It's kind of for legacy tracking, so we can see what categories it used to be in case we want to run some reports or something on. Query equals this, common, DB, repair, SQL, query, execute, array, PID, this, post ID. There we go, and then while row equals query fetch, we're going to set categories as an array. So we might as well just do that right up here. So that way we can just directly append to this. Categories equals array. So now it's an empty array. So now we can do this. This categories row cat ID equals row cat name. Now this categories will be a basic standard two-dimensional array of ID, name, ID, name, ID, name. It's pretty simple. And if we wanted to put these in alphabetical order, it's a sort, and with Notepad++, I can highlight and hit Alt F1, and this will bring up the help here on php.net. A sort sorts an array such that the array indices maintain the correlation, which is what we want. And we can actually go to this list of array sorting functions, and we can see a sort will sort by value, and it will maintain the key associations, lowest to highest, so alphabetically, basically, from A to Z. So that's what I need, and it doesn't return. It not actually directly modifies. So we can do a sort this categories, and now that array is sorted, and then we're going to want to return this categories at the end. That way you don't have to call the function twice, once to see if it's there, once again if it's not. We just return it when we're done. So now if we call the same function 10 times, the first time it would run a query. From here on out, it won't rerun the same query. It'll just say, oh, we already did that, here you go. Now we're also going to want public function get member. Now this is going to be fairly similar to the way categories work. The member data is not tied to the post data, and while we could join it in, and deal with a little bit of extra complexity here, we're not going to. We're just going to handle it as a subquery. Do the same thing here. This categories. There we are. Whatever. Frickin' tabs. Member equals array, because it's going to be an array when we're done with it. Because we're going to get a handful of member data. Select. And there's a handful of things that we need here. Let's go look at our members table. Get out of log cats. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. Here's our members table on the dev site. Do this. Let's just look at structure. We need the username. Somewhere in here there should be a card 6 field. There it is. Their color. Oh, what else do we want to display? About their member. You know what, let's grab their title. Let's grab the title. And you know what, why the hell not? Let's grab their avatar URL. That way we can put an image next to it. Ta-da! From members, where member ID equals MID. Equals this. Common DB pair. ID. This member ID. And since we're directly returning a row, we can just do this member equals query fetch. There we go. And return this member. There we go. So now we've also got the members data. And now these functions exist right here, and we can call them from anywhere. We don't necessarily have to use them, but so long as we have the blog post object, we can easily get the member that posted it. We can get what categories it's in, and away we go. One of the other things that we might want to do, because we're going to display this, is we might want a public function. What do we want to call this? Post display, why not, right? And we will use some of our standard UI-ified UI for dumping this out. Now, let me check the chat real quick. Okay, nothing spectacular. Whoa! I'm not gonna check out. Okay, so if everyone is still with me here, we'll keep going. We're going to want to display posts, and if we look at, these blocks, that's probably, an easy way to display things, especially because this is going to be for a larger list. If we just go to our blocks class here, we can see that this is how a block is constructed. So I can grab that. It's just a block in HTML. And nphp. Paste some stuff in there. Start up PHP again. Tab some things in. This is where our content will go. That's the body. This over here, we probably don't need the important flags, but why not? Latest games, that will be the blog title. So let's go back to our blog post table. Wait for it. Post topic is the field name. Yep, if I scroll up, it's right there. So I'll do equals this post topic. That will be in the bar at the top. And within the body, we'll do something like div style float left div style float left div class equals clear div. The first one will contain the member's information, and see, shit, I don't really know how I want to do that. Now I'm conflicted. Maybe I'll take an opinion on this. Right here is the member block. It is a fairly hefty function in users that generates all of this stuff right there. For the blog, I was thinking of keeping it very simple and not doing that, and just using their name, their title, and their avatar. What do you guys think? Does that seem fair? I was thinking, I've got two options with this one, Gates. I could use the member block, which is a fairly, SQL intensive function over here that generates this block on the left, or I've already got partway there now, to use just the username, the color, the title, and the avatar if one is set. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with this. That way it's much cleaner. Because I mean, it's gonna be for a blog, not for a forum post. So I do plan on putting it into some type of feed at some point. What size? This number title. And then if this member tell with it, honest image. Yeah, I'll put that in there. You know what now? There. Should take care of that. Okay. And if you recall, we have two different description fields here. We have body and body extended. For this example, we're just going to use post body because this is going to display the blocks. So here there we go. That's really all there is. That will now kick out a nice little display. So there's our new class. Refresh. Well, there it is. Class blog post. And we now have a blog folder that I created here. And within the index, we can see the blog will go here. What we're going to do now is we're going to do a select star. Scary shit. On blog posts, but we're going to return some objects. So select star from posts where, and let's go back and look at that table. Always look at the table for reference. Go away email. We've got where. Put the where on the next line. Where org ID equals OID and status equals A. Order by post date time setting. Now technically the date timestamp is set immediately. You know what, to hell, we're gonna go post ID. Since that's indexed, we might as well use the indexed columns here for that. Okay, and then query equals count seed. Now we can use common directly because we're not within an object. We haven't passed it in. Common is immediately available after you include common. The trick is within a class or even within a function, you can only access things that you've been given access to. So we do that by either using global to kind of globally grab whatever the variable is, which is kind of a terrible way of doing things, or we pass them in. So here we don't have either of those to worry about, so we're just going to go with it. SQL, query, execute, array, OID. Actually, you know, normally I'd show you an execute, and we've done that 1,000 times, where we put the thing we're looking for in an array. We're going to do this. Query bind param. And we're going to bind :OID to common org OID. And look at that. We have just bound this parameter to that parameter. The reason that this works is it's basically the same as if you passed it in the array, except we can also add a third argument of PDO something str to indicate that it's a string, or something int to indicate it's an int or float or whatever. We can define a type. Not only that, but let's say my execute, you know, I'd have an array and then whatever, which is all well and fine, which is pretty close to that, and it's actually one line shorter because we won't have to use the bind if we used an array. Let's say we were iterating a ton of records. There's a whole bunch of records, and we were doing inserts. And what I could do is I could use kind of like an explode on my row that I'm returning to do the insert with, and I could explode out the fields as variables by using the $. I think there's actually a function like enumerate or some weird function that will take an array and convert the keys to variables and match the values up, so that way they're actually addressable as variables. Anyway, great example of this would be var1 equals var2 equals var3 equals 0. I've just done something like this recently. And then we have SQL equals a bunch of stuff. And then we have query blah 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 blah. And then we can do query bind param 1 to var1. And then I can do query execute. And when execute runs, you know, yeah, let's just do it like this. Yeah, you know what? Let me make that look a little better. There, that's a bit more appropriate. Okay? And let's say this was an insert query. Insert the insert query here. Okay. Now, if I do this, 1 equals 1, or let's say it's a variable. Every time that I change var1, it's automatically changed here. This becomes a pointer to that. So that's why you must define this beforehand so it can reference it by reference. So as you change it, every time you execute, it does different things. Great example of this would be, let's say var is actually a number. We could do something like this. For I equals 0. Or let's start it at 1. For I equals 0, tell I is, while I is less than 10, plus. And we can actually replace I believe, with var1 right here. And then we can do this. So we get rid rid of that outside execute. So that would actually execute whatever the insert query here is, you know, 9 times. Now 10 times. So it would execute 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can loop through a whole bunch of stuff really quick that way. The other nice thing is if you're error checking and weird things are getting set here, you could say that this will only be a string or an integer or whatever. And if it's not, PDO would throw an error and say, well, what the hell are you doing? That's not what you told me you were going to do. Anyway, let's keep going here. Query, fetch, object. The object we're going to be throwing things into is blog post. And we need to pass it some additional parameters. Now in our constructor, we're passing common and the post ID here. Thing is, we can't get the post ID in here, you know, because that's part of a non-existent row. If you follow me here. So what we have, that's why we have this extra check here. So it's going to pre-populate that. So we pass an array, comma. We're just going to pass a comma, and we're going to put this within a loop. So we're going to do while let's just call this BP. While BP equals whatever. Okay. And now this is something kind of cool about chaining things together. Gonna go away, Steve. See where we got this member? Get member will return it. So rather than addressing member, we could address it as get member. I think we can do that. Hell if I know. Man, you know, I haven't had to try that yet. Now let's just do this. Member equals this. Get member. Hey, what do you know? It's not bad, right? And we can just say member. Haha. So we can eliminate this. That's right. Now I'm thinking of portals. There we go. Eventually, you know, we're probably going to want something that displays categories somewhere. But, you know, we'll deal with that when we get there. This is display, post display. So now we can just do BP display. And that should, if everything worked, and if that won't throw a syntax error of some crazy sort, we might be good. So let's find out. Yeah, guess what? That's the live site. Class blog post cannot be found. Why can blog post not be found? Includes classes blog post. There it is. And if we edit blog post, I call this blog post. Well, I've officially ran into something weird. Normally, the auto-load system will auto-load blog post. Huh. Now I'm stumped. I'm honestly stumped. Alright. Test equals new blog post common 1. Because I know that will work. That will instantiate the object. That always works. Cannot redeclare class blog post in blog post on line 4. What? Okay. I have no fucking idea. Got our namespace. We got our namespace. If I knock out blog post. See, and this is debugging. This is how this shit works. Now it's not found. Alright. Anyone here in the chat have an idea? Oh yeah. Yeah, you can chain those together. Next time I might have to get permission from one of the clients, but I would love to show you a chunk of code where I actually have several blocks where I define defaults. You're not joining them by reference. You're just passing a value through. So you can say A equals B equals C equals D equals 0. That way you know that A is 0, B is 0, C is 0, and D is 0. Anyway, anyone have any idea what the fuck is going on here? Yeah, I'm honestly at a loss. I have no fucking idea. Yep, Ace is right. Should comment this out. No errors. What happens if we display test? Check that shit out. My name, put my title, put my picture, and if we do an inspect, you'll see that that's 2 divs floated to the left. I'll put some margin on that. You know, obviously we probably, put some classes and whatnot. And there's the post. So it does work. What is blowing my mind here is that that doesn't work. Even though I literally have it working on another website. I'll F1 that. Where PDO fetch object. PDO fetch object. There we are, PDO statement. Class name, array of arguments. It even says here, it injects property values before invoking the constructor. Which is fine. It's supposed to be new instance of blog post. Sure, we're good. That's an array. There's that. Fucking broken. Cannot redeclare class. UC World CMS blog post. Remind me. You be kidding me. Is autoloader trying to... I think the autoload might actually be doubling up on the load. What the fuck? Alright. Let's see, what do we got here? Here's common. Here's our... Let's look at our autoloader. Alright, fuck it. Fuck it. Let's upload common too. Okay, we're still gonna get class, blah blah blah. Cannot redeclare class. What the shit changed? Well, it looks like I've officially just broken everything, doll. Fuck, and I didn't really change anything. Okay. Oh, that's right. Class exists. We'll also load the class. If not... I've officially run into a weird ass bug. Class does not exist. Okay. So if we just echo that, or you know what? I think echo doesn't use brackets. I don't know, because I've never parentheses, I've never had to use it. Doesn't exist, but don't redeclare it. Fuck it, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it, fuck it. I don't have time to deal with weird ass PHP issues that I honestly don't understand because it doesn't make a fuck bit of sense. No. Includes classes. Blog posting. What? Includes. Here doesn't exist anymore. Site root. Cannot redeclare class blog post. Just shoot me now. Alright, fuck it. You know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna do this the shitty way. I will figure out why it doesn't work later. Yeah, that's honestly the first time that's ever happened. Alright, well, we don't need that stupid include because regular autoloader will work. What's really astounding is that this works on another site that I developed. There we are, look at that. There's our only blog post, it's perfectly fine. What the fuck ever. Don't know, don't care. Maybe it's because we're using namespaces. And PDO is just like, fuck it. You know what? You know what? I just, you know, I don't know how to get it to work. One line. Let's see if this actually does it. What? Yeah. What if I need that? I honestly don't know. That fixes it. Look at that shit. It needs the namespace. It needs the damn namespace. I have just learned something new. That's cool. What do you see? It's not in the repo yet. Yep, that file. Yeah, apparently blog post. Yeah, look at that shit. Yeah, PHP totally fucking trolled me. But yeah, basically, yeah, just try the shit until you get it right. That's, yeah. There we go. So that will be our blog roll. And now if we need to adjust the display, we can display this anywhere. And we just adjust it one spot. So where I have the color, title, and number info here, we're probably going to want to put a margin left of, right, say, 10 pixels. Maybe a border right of solid that's our color. I'll swap that out with a variable or something later. Actually, we'll make that 5 and then right. So right, this will all go on a style sheet at some point, just for the sake of seeing what's going on here. There's our topic up there. Maybe we'll put a line break at the end of that. And maybe we'll do... Come on. Oh, implode. This. Get categories. Should be able to do that. I think. No clue how that will look good. Ah, they're way the fuck over here. Nah, that's not very discernible. Got our title up there. Let's take up some space. Font size 1.2. Bigger. This topic. Style equals font. All size 0.8 PM. Oh, I already have it there. Okay. You know what, how about this? We won't even do it like that. We won't do the stupid encode. We'll get the cats beforehand. Okay. I'm gonna indent this. I like to keep my code looking nice. For each cat's ID name. Look at that. It's easy, it's just going to echo out a bunch of links. See what this looks like now. Boom, there's our name, cat1, cat2, test, test, test. Maybe we want to put that inside of a div as well. Div style equals padding. 10 pixels, that's going to add padding all the way around it. One line, everything else. Save, upload. Hey, cool, look at that. There's our blog posts. Let me log in here. And blog. There we go. Yep, I'm still signed in. I go to the admin control panel. I come over here to blog. Let's create a new category. No. Post new category. New category. Another category. Posts. Okay. New post. Title. Second post. Awesome sauce. Extended body. And another category. And let's throw cat 2 in there. Hit save. We're back. We just hit refresh. There's our second post. Yay! Now, why don't we put a date time in there? So we have the post at date time, which is part of that class. So maybe we want to put right after the topic. Since we've already got the font size larger, small, relative. Here we're just going to convert this to months, day, year, time, this. There we go, look at that. And if we look at that now, we can see we've got a timestamp. And if we click on any of these, it will pass the cat ID up there. Obviously, we're not doing anything with it right now, but you know, we can. That's the other thing. We're getting there. So now in our script, we're going to want to do a little detection of get variables. Up here at the top, oh, sorry. Here we've just got a very basic query. This is great if we're just hitting it for the first time. But we're going to do a little detection. If get cat. So first we're going to check if it's set. If it's not set, we're not going to bother trying things. And get cat is greater than 0 because there isn't a category. So we're going to do that. Else we're going to do this. Pretty simple, right? We're going to take this, we're going to copy and paste it. We're going to have to do a little bit different. A little bit P posts P in this limit is where we would put our paging, by the way. We're going to need to inner join blog post cats c dot post id equals p dot post id. See, you get this in there, and c dot cat id equals cat. And we can do this again, and cat equals get cat. So you see, now we've changed the query parameters that we bound to it and whatnot. Refresh this now, and you'll get anyone that has a cat ID 2. If we get cat 1, maybe, I don't know. Oh, I was looking at CID, not cat, which makes more sense. That's the category ID. You just gotta get your variables right. Cat 1, just ones with cat 1. Cat 2, just those with cat 2. Another category, it's technically 3. And look at that, there we go. We've just built a very simple blog output there. And our query, regardless of what the actual query is, because it's returning the blog post, all the data from blog posts, it's actually able to just run basically, if we did that, a one-line loop. I still like this, clear, readable. Yeah, you know, the other site that I work on doesn't use namespaces, so I've just been able to do that in the autoloader. When I was aware of, you know, would autoload it based in the namespace you're on. So apparently there is that. That doesn't need to be when you're using PDO's fetch object. Anyway, that's about an hour. Yep, 2 minutes over an hour. What do you guys think? Good, bad, terrible? Don't ever do that shit again? Oh, also, so you can see how this will work in Git Go blog display. And we're gonna wait for it. This is the little function I wrote. It's gonna do an add, a commit, a pull, and a push. And it's going to include the correct branches. So we're going to see it added the blog index file, and we've added our class. Those are not new files, but the first one's not new. The second one is. 2 files change, 103 insertion, 3 deletion. It is, look at that, create mode, 100, and then 644. It knows that everything's supposed to be 644 now. That way things don't break when they roll out. And it has rolled everything out. And if I didn't do horribly in the rollout script, the deploy script is probably still running. Maybe. Which branch am I in? I'm in dev. There we are. Head is now at blog display. Needed to run it by hand occasionally, and it lags out. There we are. Look at that. Not bad. You know what? Let's add some stuff to the header here. If we go into the admin area, and we go to the blog folder, and we edit this index file. See up here at the very top, if org feature blog, or if not org feature blog, disabled. So we're going to go to this blog here, and we're going to do the exact same thing. Right at the top, if the blog's not on, don't allow use of the blog. Pretty simple. That way you can turn it on and off, and people can or can't get to it. Except in this case, rather than displaying blog not enabled, we will probably want to do a header location, bounce this up a little, and then die. And that way if someone hits blog and it's not enabled, it'll just redirect them to the home page rather than giving them an error. And now that we have this, save that. Let's go to the includes classes page header. And here is one of our main menus right here. Hacks, gallery, calendar, points, independent menu. Where should we put that? Probably way up the list, I'd say, because you know if it's an org only blog, so the admin can control it, no one else. So, and then we are. We'll just copy this, and we don't need to change this to games to blog. More games to blog. Now the features themselves only configurable within the database. Oh, what the hell did I do? See, that's what copy pasta does to you. There. There, now we got blog up there. You click it and it will take you here. And just to prove how this works, go to the orgs table here. Actually, we're going to want the memory version of the table since we are quickly accessing the memory version. Let's feature blog, turn that off, hit refresh on this. Oh crap, it bounced me back to the index. Blog is no longer on the menu. And if I go into the admin control panel, blog is no longer on here. And if I try to get to blog, nope, not enabled. So by immediately setting that back to a 1, I can hit refresh, and there's my blog. Blog's back in the menu. Blog now works. And there we go. That's pretty much it. We've used a query to return a class, and now doing it in namespaces. I've learned a little more myself here, so that we're doing it correctly. Yeah, aside from that, any other questions? At the beginning. Anyway, anybody want me to go over anything else? Do what? Well, put it this way, I work between 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, Eastern time. So basically, this is 2 hours after I get out of work. Yeah, I get out of work at, well, if it's 2 a.m. there now. If I would have started at 6, that would have been midnight. I get home at 6. So I get home at midnight your time. Yeah, basically I get up at 6 in the morning. I'm out the door by 7. So best you are in what, Pacific time then? It's 5 where you're at. Yep, I'm in Eastern Standard Time, so yep. The other nice thing is these streams are recorded. I have no clue what time that is, man. These streams are recorded to the live cast site. Let's see if I can pull this up. Website. Nope, that's still dead. Oh, hey, you know what? I'll show you how to roll this stuff out, too, so you can see what I'm talking about. For example, I'll show you this real quick. Log will go here. You know, obviously none of that made it to master, so if I use Kong hack system here, Kong hack, let's see what hooks. Live site, it's set to deploy. I can merge, create requests from dev into master. Log system, assign it to no one apparently. Auto merge. Okay, we give it a minute because them deploy scripts are particularly slow, especially now that my internet's slower. And look at that, no more error. There's just no blog post. No, what? Yep, there's our merge branch. Just gonna let it run by hand in the browser, make sure everything's okay with it. I have ignore user abort set on these so that it should work, but doesn't like the fact that there's files that exist in there. Okay, that makes sense. I guess when I delete things, I should just delete them, whatever. Don't care. That's the other thing. Git is a fickle, strange mistress. It does weird shit. Refresh. We've untracked changes. Shit's gone crazy. No, I don't. And there we go. We're good. We should be good. Huh. Whatever. And we got it working on the dev site. That's what matters, right? Right. Oh yeah, PHP, yeah. Yeah, I don't have any control over the delay. It's all part of live stream. Their stuff is weird, especially when I'm looking at it myself. I can see that I'm pointing. I still have a right-click menu up, and yep, there it is. And see, it's yeah, there's a delay. Okay. Hey, look at me! I can hear myself now. That's not good. Hey, look at me! For me, it's not too bad. But you notice there's a video library down here. Because this is the free version of live stream, the video library down here is in extremely low quality. So I do have a YouTube channel that I put together, youtube.com, called Kong Hackify. And the videos are on here in a much higher quality. Yeah, because it also saves, you know, a copy locally, and I upload it here. This new design sucks, but hey, cool, look at that. Discussion about whatever. Look at that, we got feature channels. Project X, check that out. That's Colonel's channel. Anyway, I think that about does it, unless anyone has anything else that they want to see. There. Let me get the hell out of there. Pull that back up. Show you how to merge these here and get. If you type get branch, it'll tell you what branch you're on. It'll tell you all the branches that you have, and the one that you're on is denoted with an asterisk. So I can do something like VM blog, whatever, and I can do get. Oh, sorry. That is my commit. Get add .-v. That will verbosely add. This will verbosely commit with a message. Get push origin dev, get checkout master, get pull origin master, that way it repulls it. There we are. Get merge dev, get push origin master, get checkout dev, get pull origin dev. Now that this is chained together, it's going to do an add on the repo. Look at that. I don't know why he added some things there. Whatever. Already added those files. It's committing the files. It's going to push those out to. Oh, you know, there was the header that we added in there. I guess I did that after that. Anyway, there we are. It's pushing that out. It's now switching to the master branch, and this is the merge request that I made through GitLab. I can do those through here, as I have permission to push to the master branch. It's pushing to the master branch, merge made by recursive. Get extensions? No, GUI, fuck GUI. It is, for me, it's much faster to just deal with things in command line, plus I've been doing command line forever, and get extensions is pretty shitty compared to like Tortoise Get. For me, I have a bunch of functions that I've written that take care of things. Like that function, I just wrote all of this out so you can see what I'm doing, what the actual commands are. It's always nice to know what the commands are, especially when the GUI fails to handle funky, crazy merges and whatnot. But, see, I have Tortoise installed. I can go HTML. Let's look at like comment 2. I can right click tortoise get show log. And we wait for it. No, we don't want to update. That's the other thing. Command line. I don't have to deal with updates. Look at that! Yay! I can see the log. That's what I'm saying, is that the GUI is slower. See, where I'd have to go, commit, blah, blah, blah. I can just type. It'd be done with it and hit enter and it's done. It's much faster than using any type of GUI. See, packaged up all of the commands in one shot there. The lag that you experience with, well, that I experience here is because my GitLab server is actually a virtual machine on a bigger server sitting in my bedroom there, so it's using my home connection as opposed to some high-speed connection of sorts. See, we're just checking ahead here. Merge branch of dev, which is that little merge I just did. Everything's fine. Now if we hit /log, it bounces us right back to index like it should. And we don't see it in the menu. Anyway, that's about that. I mean, there's a bunch of other things I do in here besides just git. If that was the case, I'd just use git bash. Segment has an ass load of additional features. Close out of there, close out of there. Technically, the stuff I'm doing here via FileZilla, where I'm uploading files, is just for testing purposes. Once I commit, it'll overwrite the changes I made anyway. So there is that. Using deployment keys, I could have 100 copies of this website out there, and it would just, each one of them would progressively call back and reclone and resync. So. Oh, there we are. Well, I think that's it. If anyone has anything else, I'm going to go over before the end of the night. I mean, it's 20 after 8, so we're in an hour and 20 minutes. So this is perfect streaming, not bad. Aside for the first 10 minutes where there was no audio, everything sound okay? There's a delay on this. Cool. Well, I'm going to wrap this up and then start the long-ass upload of the video to YouTube. Thanks for hanging out.